and I myself was shivering at that time. Being a student, I didn't have much money and all those things. So what I did is that I had a shirt, a jacket, and an undergarment. So I gave him my jacket and my shirt, and I went home with this undergarment, shivering. And
But you knew it would only be a few minutes. He was going to be there all
yes,
night.
yes. And then my mother asked me what happened. So I told her, and she was happy that this is what happened. But that was the day when I basically ultimately decided, that this is the best thing that one person can do. But then again, there are millions and millions of people all over the world and all over India and in Delhi itself. And you are not going to go to everyone to give all those things. But what you do is that you create conditions that would be conducive for other people to come together and help. And this is what I've been doing since then.
I'm going to give you two examples of people that might be viewing this video. One of them is doing well. They're educated, their money is good, maybe they're married, maybe they're not, socially active, take great vacations, but they're busier than a one-armed paper hanger. Okay? And the other person is someone who's maybe isn't doing so well in their life. Maybe they've lost a few jobs, they work, they're a working person, but they're serially unemployed. And each day, it's all they can do to get dinner on the table. They're just up to their eyeballs. Okay? Why would each of those people want to be of service to someone or something other than themselves?
I think this is one of the insecurities that our modern world has placed and pushed us into, where basically it has put a price on our life. It has basically priced our own status, that you cannot become considered a complete person unless you have these things on your table, unless you have these kind of gadgets in your home, unless you have this kind of home and all those things, without realizing that the real happiness lies within our own self, regardless whether we are earning $1,000 or we are earning $1, or whether we are eating at a high restaurant or we are eating at our home and all those things. And these are the insecurities that basically this modern materialistic culture has put us into, that kind of thing. But when we realize that we are all one, and then we share the resources that God has given us, when we act in a responsible manner towards ourselves and towards the society, and when we basically consider the divinity of God giving us things that we have no control of, the sun, the water, the air, and all those things that are easily available. If for a second the air stops working, we will all die. So when we have that kind of realization, and then the spirituality basically helps us develop that kind of understanding of our own realities. So that basically would give us an understanding to relate with the sufferings and to the situations of the other, and together we can create conditions that would help people out of that situation, and that can basically help people improve their living condition in terms of at least overcoming the insecurities that they have. Because
So you've expressed 2 or 3 times now in this interview that the resources that we have at our disposal don't actually belong to us.
indeed they belong.
Even though our system of government, our free enterprise system in this country, says that they do. So there's a lot of people in this country right now who are doing well, very well. And they think it's as a result of their own wisdom and hard work. Okay? It seems what you're saying is that that's not accurate. It's a blessing from God, you're saying. Not because of their wisdom and hard work.
Everything is a blessing of God. Even our wisdom is a blessing of God. Even our wisdom, even our hard work is a blessing of God. I mean, imagine a day when you would wake up paralyzed. Imagine a day when you would wake up realizing that you have hemorrhage. Imagine a day when anything could happen. But these are the extreme situations. But what basically is happening is that our mind, our heart, our body is working on the basis of the laws that divine created. We did not create the human body. We did not create the brain. We were given that.
So if I'm, let's say I'm a self-made man, okay? I don't come from money, okay? But I worked and I got good grades in school. And I worked part-time and I got money. And then I went to college and I did the same thing and I got good grades. So I got into the right college,
Yes.
okay? And I went in the right program and I worked and I, did all that stuff. And then I went and interviewed for and got employed by the right corporation. And now I'm wealthy, really wealthy, okay? You think that is because of what I did, or it's because of
I
God?
think it's because of the efforts and because of the work you did to use all the faculties that God created in you.
Okay.
So,
Because some people don't have the faculties to get straight A's the way I do.
yes, the reason is that you use those faculties. And other people did not have those opportunities to use them or misuse them at certain point of time, or
So if
physically or emotionally.
So if others misuse them and I use them properly,
Yes.
don't I deserve the goodness that I have, and they deserve the lack of goodness that they have?
Well, first of all, I deserve the best fruits of what I have because of the what you call the work that I did, and that is what the God's promise is, that you would get the benefit, you would reap, the fruits of your labor. But how should I use that labor now once I have those fruits? Should I store them only for myself?
And my
Or should I-
children
yeah,
and
yeah. Or should I go out and find those people who are less fortunate than me, who misuse that? Not out of sympathy, but out of my responsibility towards humanity, because they are equally created by God, and for some reason they were unable to do what they should have done.
so you think that it's not God's justice that they lack?
No, it's my injustice,
It's my injustice, my being greedy.
my being greedy. Because my scriptures tell me that whatever is beyond my need should be offered to those people who, due to whatever reasons, are unable to get what they should have got.
The two people that I was talking about a moment ago, the wealthy, the one doing well and the one doing not so well, if they were to want to try to be of service, what would be a low commitment level, easy, non-threatening service project they might get involved in that you would suggest?
I think for the person who doesn't have much resources, I would basically advise him to volunteer his time.
To what kind of a project? What would you
To,
suggest?
for instance, to prepare sandwiches for the homeless.
Okay.
To even wash the clothes for those homeless, in one of the laundries. To basically, if they're going to spend time in teaching something, whatever skills they have, then they can. In helping the handicapped people, for instance, to clean their houses, to visit the hospitals, to meet with those things.
Cut the yard for an old
Exactly,
person,
exactly,
something like that.
Exactly. If my neighbor is an elderly person, it would take me 10 minutes to cut his yard, or 15 minutes. Why shouldn't I do that if I have time? Right? Provided he trusts me. And to the person who has the resources, I would say that whatever you could spare out of your needs, without basically hurting your own needs, give it to the cause of those people who are in that kind of situation.
So name one or two causes that you would suggest they donate to?
For instance, the Family Promise.
Why?
Because they are the one who are taking care of homeless people. They are screening the homeless families, and they are a very low budget group and all those things.
They utilize their resources effectively,
Very, very,
you're
very
saying.
well. And I think then there are Three Square group in Las Vegas, for instance, that basically collects the food and other resources to be given to the homeless and to the needy through organizations. Then individually in various organizations in various communities, there are projects basically that are meant to serve those people, and it is for those people that those resources could be given. It could be given on a one-time basis, it could be given on a regular basis, it could be given in rather than giving money, the person, usually that's what I say, that go and buy this stuff rather than giving us the money. Give us the bread so that we could prepare the sandwiches. Bring the
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yes, exactly. So that you are in control of your money. You decide based on what you have.
Okay. What do you think each of those two people, again, would get out of it if they followed the suggestion you just gave them?
I think they would all feel satisfied. That's one of the things. That they made the use of the resources and the life that they had for some other person. And I think this is the best satisfaction and the greatest satisfaction that anyone can have.
Even better than piling up a whole pile of money.
Indeed, indeed it is. I mean, this is my personal experience, and I think this is an experience that many people have shared throughout the history, that whenever they serve other people, they find a kind of satisfaction that is beyond description. They feel that they have fulfilled the purpose of their life. They have done something that is giving them happiness which no other thing could give the happiness. Even if I win the lottery, for instance, $1 million, it would not be giving as much happiness to me as when I see myself helping a person and working to get him out of that situation.
Humanity has just passed 7 billion a few days ago. You knew that, right?
Yes.
If you could speak to all 7 billion of us, what would you say?
If I were to speak to all 7
billion of us. They're all going to watch this video. Let's pretend.
Let's pretend that they're all watching.
What would
I
you
would
say?
say that the best thing that we can build our life around is love. That we should demonstrate in our actions towards each and every human being, with no place for anger, no place for rancor, no place for hatred against anyone.
No discrimination.
No discrimination.
If I could grant you any superpower, one that you have heard of before or one that you make up right now, which one would you ask for?
I would be realistic. I would say that if you could grant me the superpower to overcome my own insecurities and my own anger and my own hatred, that would be the greatest gift that you can give me.
What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie was It's Mad, Mad, Mad World.
Okay. Why?
Because it basically identified the what you call the idiosyncrasies of the life that we all live. That everyone is running to do what? And nobody knows. And everyone is basically trying to achieve things they don't know why.
Someone, they told them that they should. Who are your heroes?
Gandhi, of course, is
Mohandas Gandhi.
Yes, I mean he's one of the leaders that I have always respected, and and I think Martin Luther is another one, the junior, the civil rights leader here, and I think these are the two ones that I cherish.